You're listening to Entrepreneur's Enigma, a podcast about the ups and downs of the entrepreneurial journey. Every week, your host Seth Goldstein interviews entrepreneurs from all walks of life about their entrepreneurial journeys. From store owners to Fortune 500 CEOs, we all have stories to tell. So sit back and join us for the next 20 or so minutes while we explore the entrepreneurial world.
Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the Entrepreneur's Enigma podcast. I am, as always, your host, Seth with Podcast Mastery and Goldstein Media. Today I have Alan Halas, who is a music writer, radio host, and podcaster based in the snowy north, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Of course, I say snowy north. It's snowy in Philly right now too, so it's snow everywhere. So yeah, he currently works for OnMilwaukee, the largest digital media outlet in the city, and can be heard weekly on traditional radio, FM 102.1 in Milwaukee, as the host of Love Local Radio. Now, if that wasn't enough, this guy's an overachiever here. He's also the founder of Breaking and Entering, a music website that showcases the talents in the Milwaukee music scene. So you see there's a trend here. It's all about Milwaukee, which is good. Since 2014, Breaking and Entering has produced daily content. So he's an overachiever. Daily content around the independent music scene in Milwaukee. He also, if that wasn't enough, he hosts a podcast called Hustling Sideways, where him and his buddy Jim Love talk about the side hustles. So sort of like where I talk about like ongoing, entrepreneurship. He talks about the ongoing side hustle entrepreneurship. For those entrepreneurs who maintain a regular 9 to 5, as well as what Alan does, a bunch of other side hustles. So how's it going, Alan? How you doing, buddy?
Great. Thank you so much for having me, Seth. I appreciate it. And yeah, it's a lot of things, but yeah, we're making it work, right?
Keeps you out of trouble, right?
Yeah. And it is snowy here too. It is also like 2 degrees outside.
Oh, yeah. It is currently 19, but feels like 14. So it's like balmy 19 here. Balmy. Something balmy. Oh my God, it's awful.
I would kill for 19 right now. I'd be great with that.
Yeah, exactly. And no wind, because you get the lake effect. So God help you. Exactly. Enough about the weather. So how did this all get started? Like because your full-time job is on Milwaukee, right?
Yep. Yeah. So this all kind of started for me because for years I wanted to play music and I wanted to be in bands when I was a kid growing up. Eventually started making music, started making beats for hip hop artists because I didn't have people around to be in a band. So I ended up making music on my own. But then really I went to school thinking I was going to be a music producer. Ooh. And from then went to Marquette, and it was much more video kind of based, but this was like the blog era of discovering music. So we had a radio show on student radio that we called Breaking and Entering. We just transformed that into the website. This is like the Reader's Digest version because there's
of course I'm sure it's much longer
going on. But basically the co-host that I had on the radio show, he was a psychology major, I was a media major, so we were on 2 very different planes. So I kept the website going, and that was like this blog era of how you discovered music at the time. So I started just showcasing all the people that I had worked with, or like bands that I knew, or people that I just thought were making really good stuff. And that eventually, right after college, turned into like starting this website and writing every day while having a 9 to 5. I was working at a bank.
Oh wow!
And then actually,
that's 9 to 5. Well, that's actually not 9 to 5. That's like
that was a real 9 to 5, and everything else was after that.
Yeah.
But then after that, essentially, my website helped get me my first job. I worked for a magazine, and now I work for OnMilwaukee. Awesome. But it was all because of this thing that I started right after college, basically.
That's wild. So, look, you start your own and make your own endeavors and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then how did you get into the radio station?
The radio station came about as kind of a partnership between OnMilwaukee and FM 102.1, and they had a local radio show that was just an hour of local music.
Yeah.
They had it for years, and then their host unfortunately very suddenly passed away.
Oh.
And once that happened, though, they kind of were like, well, we've seen you cover Milwaukee music for years, you would be the guy for us.
And you've had some
So
radio experience, so you kind of know what buttons
right.
to press.
Yes. Yeah.
And what not to
So
say on FCC mandated radio.
yeah. So it's really, I mean, I guess the common thread though is it's been all of the things that weren't on my resume are the things that have gotten me jobs in other places.
That's the best way to go
It's
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really been all of the stuff that aren't like the formal accolades and training. It's been everything else has led me to the
I
next
love it.
thing, along the way. So it's been a fun adventure.
So you've been doing breaking and entering since for forever,
Yep.
and you've done the hustling sideways podcast for how long now?
So we started the Hustling Sideways podcast in 2021. So it'll be 5 years this year. It came out of my co-host Jim Love is a motivational speaker on the side of working at a staffing company.
We're gonna take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and get right back to the show. Wow.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So we both were like in this world where we had like traditional 9 to 5s at one point, and then we're trying to just make things happen on the side.
It's best.
So
Sometimes that's the best way to
like,
do it. Ups and downs of
yeah,
entrepreneurship, and have the stability of a 9 to 5.
right. And so we were like, we know a ton of people that do this. Let's talk
Yeah.
about it. And we thought we were gonna do 5 episodes at first. We were just gonna do like a short little mini series and be like, okay, this is what we go through. And then we were like, well, let's bring some guests on.
Yeah.
And then we
And
kept
it
bringing people
grows
on,
and
and then
grows
yeah,
and
now we're
grows.
like 110 episodes in or something like that. But yeah,
Bravo.
it's been a fun little side adventure too. Side hustle.
A side hustle for the side hustle for the side hustles. I love
Basically,
that, man. I love
yeah.
it. That's wild. And so, what do you do for OnMilwaukee?
So I manage their editorial department now.
Oh wow,
And my
you're the big
main
dog there.
And so my main coverage, well, we're a small team. We're a team of like 10.
Yeah.
So it's a small group, but I manage the editorial side of things. And then I write about music, and we needed somebody to do sports coverage. So I cover sports for us now too.
Because why not, right?
Right. Gives me an excuse to be in the arena for games and things
So
like that.
you get free Bucks tickets.
I do get to go to some Bucks games. I get to go to some Brewers games. It's great.
That's fun.
But yeah, it's been just trying to do the things that are fun. That is kind of like that's like the guilty
thread,
pleasure.
is
Getting
have
to write
fun
about
with what
sports.
you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, but mostly main coverage is music stuff. So
that's
whether
cool.
it's concerts, festivals, things like that. So.
That's awesome. So, in your mind, what's the best thing about having a side hustle versus doing entrepreneurship full time?
Well, you kind of touched on it, and that's having that stability of knowing that there's going to be a check coming in every couple weeks is nice. I think really, I have noticed that having a side hustle and having a main job has been important for me because you're able to kind of learn from both sides. For me, my side hustle and my main job are pretty close. So I can try some things, writing for Breaking and Entering or doing our social media or whatever, that, if they work and they're successful, I can take that to OnMilwaukee, which is
so
kind of a nice advantage.
Yeah.
And to not have, there's really no rules for my thing, for my side hustle, right? So I can try whatever, and then if I like it, like it's
and
the best
works,
guinea pig to be like, all right, take it somewhere else. Yeah. So
that's wild, man. That's wild. So how long have you been at OnMilwaukee for?
I've been at OnMilwaukee for just over 2 years, but I've been
before that you were at the bank.
I was full time as a writer. I was at a magazine before that for 3 years. But when I was working at the bank, I was there for 7 years, and I told myself I was only going to be there for 3.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah. So
because that's a steady pay, because banks are a steady paycheck. I mean, that's like you go in, you do your hours, they don't expect anything beyond your hours, and you can go home and do your side hustle.
Yep. And I did all the important things that time. I bought a car, I bought a house, because I could do that with all the employee benefits of
being at the
discounts
bank
and things. Yeah, exactly. But it was a wild time because I was their marketing person. So
Oh,
essentially,
so you weren't just a teller or a banker. You were doing the
no,
marketing
I
side of
was,
things at a bank. That's kind of cool.
yeah. So I was in the marketing side of things. But when I would have to like schedule interviews and things like that for bands, it would be during the day. So what I would do is I would literally go take a 15-minute break, go out to my car, talk to like a rock star, and then walk back into my office job like nothing had happened. But
That's
nobody else
awesome.
in the
That's a
building
side
knew.
hustle. That's a side hustle, buddy. That's how
Yeah,
you got to
nobody else in
hustle.
the building knew that I was talking to like, artists and celebrities and stuff like that. So
That's wild. And eventually, you give you 2 weeks, and you're like, I'm going to go do something else.
yeah, basically, I decided to jump into media full time during COVID.
Hmm.
We were all working from home, and I was like, "This, if I'm gonna do this now, now is the big
Now's the
reset.
time. Yeah.
Let's do it." And you haven't looked back since, really.
That's wild, man. That's wild. So now with side hustles, I mean, it's a lot of time management because you got your
Hmm.
9 to 5 responsibilities. You got your not nine that you got your 5 to 9, 5 to midnight responsibilities.
Yeah.
What keeps you up at night with this? I mean, like making sure, and how do you keep it all organized? I mean, that's kind of wild.
Uh, well, what keeps me up at night are the shows now because they go later than, you
Yeah.
know, uh, they go late at night, and especially when we put on concerts and things like that, like those can be some late nights. What keeps me up at night though about it is you're fully on the hook for it. So if
Mm,
there's no content on the website for a day, it's because you didn't put anything out there, right? Like on
yeah.
Milwaukee, we have a team of writers. Everybody's, somebody's working on something pretty much all the time.
There's always
There's always
something to refresh and
something.
say, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that is probably what keeps me up at night is like
Mm,
if it's not you, it's nobody for for my
mm.
own thing. And what was the second half of that question? I'm sorry.
No, and then it's just like how do you time management all this stuff? And
Oh,
that's kind of the key
yes.
thing here.
So I was notoriously bad at time management for years, and it was only up until really last year that I was able to kind of get it together.
Wow.
What I started doing is on Mondays, I just go through and just like it's like a full-on brain dump of like, here's all the things that need to happen in
Yeah.
this part of my life, in this part of my life, in this whatever. Like, here's
Yeah.
everything I got to do for on Milwaukee this week. Here's everything I got to do for breaking and entering. Here's everything that has to happen for the podcast, and then now I break that out into like a day by day
Oh
of like,
wow.
okay, these 5 things got to happen today, these 6 things happen tomorrow, like, and like really had to be organized about it because
You
for the
have to. So
longest
yeah,
time
because if you're
it
doing the
was
side
not.
side thing, yeah.
Yeah. It was something that doesn't really fit with like the like musician lifestyle or music industry
No.
lifestyle of like
You can't fly by the seat of your
structure.
pants. Yeah.
Yeah, you're used to like fast and loose, and I definitely deal with a lot of people that are fast and loose on things and can just do whatever. Um, but
God bless
it's
them.
necessary for the amount of things that I have going on. I have to kind of really
Yeah.
structure my week out.
Oh my God. So here's the question of the podcast here. What is the most important thing to carry with you all the time?
Whew. You know what it is? It is a sense of it's a sense of humbleness. How about that?
Oh, I like
That's the
that.
most
Yeah. How
important thing
so?
to carry with you. Obviously, like physically, yes, a smartphone, of
Oh
course.
yeah. Oh yeah. Or
But
a notepad or something like
yeah,
you
yeah,
need,
yeah. But
and
I
your
would
and
say a
your
sense,
calendar app.
yeah, I would say a sense of humbleness is the most important thing to carry with you because I get to do a lot of really cool things. I get to go to
Mm,
festivals. I get to go to, big stadium concerts and arena
yeah.
concerts, and a lot of times for free or near free. Um, but something that I always think about when I'm at those shows and writing reviews or
Mm,
talking to artists or whatever is like, there's some kid that's sitting in the 400 level that just scraped by to get his money together to come to that show.
mm-hmm.
Like there's always that. So I get to do a lot of things. It's a very spoiled kind of, thing that I get to
Yeah.
do. So make sure that you don't take that for granted at any point.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I love that. I love that. So people can find you over at AlanHalas.com. That's Alan with 2 L's and an E, because you can spell
yep.
Alan like 15 different ways.
Yeah.
Breakingandentering.net.
Yep.
OnMilwaukee.com is the main hustle, but check it out. I checked
Yep.
it out. It's a great little site. And in Hustling Sideways, there's a link to their link tree where you can go, their links, and give it a listen, and reach out
wherever you get your podcasts. Yeah,
and you can find Alan Halas everywhere on social media by Alan Halas. You snagged that.
Oh yeah, the first thing I do is I try to claim my name, make sure I got it.
You gotta do that, buddy. You got it, bud.
Yeah.
Awesome, Alan. This has been so much fun. Enjoy the snow, or survive the snow, or do your best to not kill yourself in the snow.
Yeah, survive the snow for sure.
Exactly. And we'll see everyone next week.
That was a great show. If you're enjoying Entrepreneur's Enigma, please consider giving us a review in the podcast directory of your choice. Every review helps us reach new listeners. If you like Entrepreneur's Enigma, consider the other shows on the Marketing Podcast Network at marketingpodcast.net.